Hello everyone. Hi, I'm back. Okay. Sa hindi pa po nakapag-follow and like ng Facebook page ko, please po. At saka po yung hindi pa po nakapag-subscribe ng YouTube channel ko, subscribe po kayo. Okay. Kasi po yun yung mga page at channel ko na mayroong lecture at saka tutorial videos about mathematics, no? Certain topics, different topics of mathematics. Okay. Today, we will continue the discussion about factoring polynomials. So we are now on the general quadratic trinomial. Okay? Or in my own opinion, this is the trial and error, no? The trial and error method in factoring. Okay. Suppose you're given a trinomial of this form, x squared plus a plus b of x plus ab is equal to the product of x plus a plus the x of b. Meaning to say, the factored form of the polynomial here, or the trinomial here, is equal to this, to the right side. No? So how can we possibly obtain the factored form of this type of polynomials? Okay. First is we should bear in our mind that we should look for the two numbers which when multiplied is equal to the first term of the trinomial. Okay? In other words, mangita daw ta og number nga kung atong i-multiply, equivalent siya sa first term. Okay? Now, also, we need to find two numbers, no? When multiplied is equivalent to the last term. Okay? So, in the middle term, it's up on the numbers on the last term. Okay? To make it simpler, of course, let us try the example here para masabtan. Okay, first is we're given x squared minus 4x minus 12. So what we're going to do, we need to get the factors of x, no? Or the product of x squared, which is x. That is x times x, simply x times x. Because if we multiply x times x, that is equivalent to x squared. Right? Okay, now let's look on the last term, which is negative 12. Take note, negative 12. So what are the possible factors of negative 12? You could have negative 4 times 3. You could have 4 times negative 3. You could have negative 6 times 2. Or 2 times negative 6. Or 12 times negative 1 or negative 12 times 1. These are the possible factors of negative 12, correct? Now, in choosing which of these factors you are going to use, you need to look at the middle term, which is negative 4. Okay. Now, in your own understanding, which of these possible factors you're going to use? When you add, you would come up with negative 4. Ibig sabihin, saan ba dito sa possible factors dito ang pwede nyong gamitin na kapag ina-add nyo, makukuha nyo si negative 4? Ito ba si negative 4 plus 3? Hindi. Negative 1 yan. Ito ba si 4 times negative 3? 1 lang ito. Ito ba? Negative 6 times 2, if you add, negative 6 plus 2, negative 4. So, meaning, ito yung pwede nating gamitin. No? Kasi ho, if we add these two factors, we would come up with negative 4. That's the technique. Okay? You will always do that. Look for the possible factors of the last term. Then, if you add or combine, you would obtain the second term. Okay? So here, we've already shown that these factors are going to be the one to use. Okay, so the factored form of number 1, you write x, which is this is the factors of the x squared. So since this is minus, look at this one, the factors negative 6 and 2. You could have minus 6 plus 2. That's it. Okay, simple as that. Now, if you're going to check, you can use the FOIL method or whatever ways of multiplying, no? Like two binomials. Okay? If we check x times x, that is x squared. If we check x times x, you have x squared. X times positive 2, so plus 2x. Negative 6x times x, negative 6x. Negative 6 times positive 2, you have negative 12. So you have copy x squared. 2 minus 6, that is negative 4x. You copy minus 12. So we are correct. Okay? Did you get it? Una, di ba? Una, kunin mo yung numbers, no? Na kung i-multiply natin, dalawang numbers, kung i-multiply natin, makuha natin yung first term. So dito, alam natin kasi x squared lang yan eh. So x times x tayo, no? Pangalawa, kunin mo yung dalawang number, no? Or factors of the last term, no? The possible factors of the last term, then if you add that factors, you would come up with the middle term. Okay? So that's it. Nakuha na natin si number 1. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Again, we have a simple trinomial whose leading coefficient is 1. Kasi mga 1 lang yung coefficient dito eh. Mas simple ito. Kasi yung numerical coefficient sa first term is only 1. So 1 times x squared, that's why x squared lang yung nakikita nyo. So dito, kunin natin yung factors ng x squared. So you have x times x. Kay negative 28, possible factors niya. So you have negative 7 times 4 or 4 times negative 7. Ano pa? Yan lang ba? Yan lang naman siguro, di ba? Okay, or 14 times 2, negative 14, or 14 times negative 2. 28, 14 to 8, that's okay. Okay, or hindi natin isali yun si 28. Pwede din. Negative 28 times 1 or 28 times negative 1. Okay. Now, sa makikita nyo ito yung mga possible factors ng negative 28. So, ang isipin nyo lang at ang gawin nyo lang is hanapin yung factors dito na pwede na yun ang gamitin natin sa answer. At kapag i-add natin or i-combine natin, makukuha natin si negative 3. Okay? Saan kaya dito? Of course, we've tried negative 7 times 4 is negative 28. Negative 7 plus 4, di ba negative 3? So, ibig sabihin, ito yung gamitin natin. Si negative 7 at saka si positive 4. So, now we have our factor. X, kasi may x dyan eh. X yung una eh. Sulat natin si x. Then, i-copy lang natin yung sign nila. Minus 7 plus 4. So, we are correct. Because negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. Correct? Okay. I hope may na-learn kayo. Okay. Now, let's move on to example number 3. Okay. It's still a trinomial whose leading coefficient is 1. Okay. So, ito, madali lang ito eh. Again, x times x lang yan. Yung factors ng x squared. Ito, si negative 20, tapos 1 sa gitna, pwede mong gamitin si 5 times negative 4. Because 5 minus 4 is 1. Okay? So, yan na yan. You have x, you copy. Then, plus 5. Then, minus 4. Okay? Madali lang ano? Madali lang talaga ito kapag kapag yung leading coefficient natin is 1. Okay? Simple lang siya kasi 1. Okay, now the next example would be a trinomial whose leading coefficient is not equal to 1. Meaning to say, may number na dito greater than 1. Sige. Sige nga. I'll give you, I hope na you understand examples 1 to 3 here. Okay. So let's move on to another example wherein the leading coefficient is not equal to 1. Okay. Maganda ito. Kasi hindi na equal to 1. So, kaya nga tinatawag itong trial and error eh. So you have, I will give you 5x squared plus 9x minus 2. Yan. Example number 4 na yan. Okay. Guys, kung ano man ang ginawa natin sa example 1 to 3, the same here. Okay? Ano nga yung ginawa natin? First, we need to look for the factors of 5x squared. You could have 5x times x, correct? Am I correct? This is the only factor of 5x squared. 5x times x, that is 5x squared. How about kay negative 2? You have negative 2 times 1 or 1 times negative 2. Yan lang naman yung factors ng negative 2 eh. Okay. Now, since plus ito dito, no? Ano kaya ang posibleng gawin natin? Gamit yung 5. Okay. Kasi, tinatawag itong trial and error eh. Trial and error method eh. Okay? You could do the trial and trial until you would come up with the correct answer. So, we already knew that we have the first term, no? The first terms of the two factors, 5x and x. So, we could have write 5x, dito, si x. No? Ang kukunin lang natin is, ano kaya yung factor nila? Yung partner nila para makuha natin si number 4. Using this one. Saan kaya dito? Ay, ito pala. Negative 1, tsaka positive 2. Saan kaya dito? Ito. Gamitin natin ito. Si negative 1 at tsaka si positive 2. So, mag-minus 1 ka dyan, plus 2. Okay. This is a trial and error method. So, okay. You will do the checking whether you got the correct answer here. No? We use this one, the factors of negative 2, which is negative 1 times 2. Negative 2. So, we need to check 5x times x, you have 5x squared. 5x times positive 2 plus 10x. Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times positive 2 is negative 2. So, what is our final answer here? We have 5x squared. 10 minus 1 is 9. So, plus 9x minus 2. Okay, and we got the correct answer. What is important here is you will find the exact partner of the factor. Okay? When the leading coefficient is not equal to 1. When greater than 1 na kumbaga. Okay? Did you learn something from it, class? Okay, another example to that. Okay, so you have example number 5. I will give you that. You have 2y squared minus 5y minus 3. Okay, 2y squared minus 5y minus 3. Okay, again, we need to find the factors of 2y squared here. So we have 2y times y. These are the only factors of 2y squared. How about for negative 3? You can have negative 3 times 1 or 3 times negative 1. And these are the only factors of negative 3. Okay? So, what we're going to what is our problem now is, which between these partners is correct? So that we will obtain the middle term, negative 5. Okay, let's try. We knew that the first factors are 2y and y. So, negative 5. So, what if we use this one, negative 3 and 1? Depende sa inyo, class, kung paano nyo pinartner. Kung si plus 1 dito, dito si negative 3, tingnan natin. No? Depende yan eh. Kung ito yung i-partner nyo, sige, hindi nga. Ito yung i-partner natin ha. Dito si negative 3 tapos si positive 1. Okay, 2y. I-check nyo nga kung correct ba tayo. 2y times y, 2y squared. 2y times 1 plus 2y. Negative 3y, negative 3 times y, negative 3y. Hindi na eh. Because 2 minus 3 is negative y. So that's why it is very important for you to do the trial and error. Okay? So alam natin na nasa kanilang apat lang yung pwede natin gamitin. 2y and y. Okay. Since mali tayo dito, kasi dito natin ilagay si negative 3, dito natin ilagay si negative 3, tapos si positive 1 dito. I-change natin. And this is the correct answer. Because, if we check, 2 times y, you have 2y squared. 2y times negative 3, negative 6y. 1 times y, so plus y. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5y. And this is correct. Okay? Ito yung tamang factor nito. Okay, that's all for the general quadratic trinomials or the trial and error method in factoring. I hope may na-learn kayo kahit kaunti. At salamat po sa pag-subscribe, no? Sa pag-watch or pag-share. I hope ma-share niyo yung channel ko para ma-share niyo din sa mga friends niyo, especially those who are incoming grade 7 and grade 8 and those who are incoming first year college. Okay, thank you po. Amping po tayo palagi.